There's something seductive about asking AI to imagine your future. You type a few prompts: describe my dream life, write my success story, show me who I could be. And in seconds, the screen fills with words that feel like magic. Confidence, abundance, freedom, morning routines in sunlight, flow state workdays, deep relationships, self-worth that radiates. It's all there, polished and perfect. It's tempting to believe it's already within reach, that if the vision is this clear, the path must be too. But what if that future so perfectly written, so effortlessly beautiful, is actually the most dangerous distraction from real growth? Because here's the truth: your future can be scripted by AI, or it can be built by you. But those two lives, they don't feel the same, and they don't lead to the same outcome. The first is fantasy, the second is earned. And the difference between the two is the difference between consuming clarity and creating momentum. It's easy to get caught in the script loop. You ask AI to generate the best version of your day, and it gives you everything. 5:30 a.m. wake-ups, gratitude journals, protein smoothies, 3-hour deep work blogs, gym sessions, nightly reflections. You read it and nod along, inspired. But then real life hits. You oversleep, you snap at someone, you scroll too long, you spiral. And suddenly that future, so vivid just hours ago, feels further away than ever. You think the script failed. You think you failed. But what really happened is this: you confused clarity for readiness. You thought inspiration was enough to overcome resistance. You mistook visibility for embodiment. And you're not alone. Thousands of people are doing the same thing right now, prompting AI to generate the version of themselves they hope to become, reading it like gospel and feeling seen but not moved. Because AI can give you a vision, but only you can give it weight. Only you can give it history, the kind built in sweat, in micro-decisions, in the hard, boring, sacred work of becoming. AI is brilliant at showing you what's possible, but it can't teach you how to get up when you failed for the third time. It can't breathe with you through grief. It can't sit with your resistance and say, "We're still going to try today." Only you can do that. And the life you actually want. It doesn't come from another perfect plan. It comes from choosing to build when the blueprint crumbles, to act without applause, to keep becoming even when the transformation is invisible to everyone else. That's not clean. It's not optimized, but it's yours. And that's the difference. The future written by AI sounds flawless, but the future built by you, it's alive, it's real, and it's waiting for your next imperfect step. There's a moment, after the high of reading your AI-scripted dream life, when reality hits harder than ever. You go from, "This is who I could be," to, "Why am I still not there?" That emotional drop isn't failure, it's disillusionment. The clarity was so strong, so convincing, that your nervous system thought progress had happened. But there's a trap built into that experience. You felt the dopamine rush without the effort. You felt seen, understood, inspired, without having moved a single inch. And that's where the split begins. On one side, the future generated, beautiful, flawless, optimized. On the other, the present lived, messy, unpredictable, often uncomfortable. Which one feels easier to spend time in? You already know the answer. Most people return to the script, again and again. They tweak it, they prompt a new version. They ask ChatGPT for better structure, smarter affirmations, more motivational quotes. And for a moment, it feels like action. But it's not action, it's simulation. And the more time you spend simulating action, the less tolerance you build for actual friction. You start avoiding the very thing that creates real transformation: discomfort. Because discomfort doesn't feel clean, it feels vulnerable. It reveals the truth, that you don't yet fully trust yourself to follow through. But here's the gift most people miss: that's the work. The journey of building your future isn't about performing as your ideal self. It's about becoming someone who shows up in resistance. That's not a fantasy, it's a practice. And you can't download practice. You can't automate integrity. You can't outsource becoming. You have to earn your own trust. That means you'll feel doubt and still make the call. You'll feel tired and still take the step. You'll fail and still come back the next day. Not because you're chasing perfection, but because your identity is starting to shift. Real growth isn't poetic, it's gritty. It's not written in the lines of a prompt, it's written in your lived tension, in your half-done journal pages, in your unfinished workouts, in your awkward boundary-setting attempts, in your 2-minute meditations that didn't feel spiritual but were still done. These are not signs of failure, they're signs of authorship. You are writing your life, not with words, but with action. And the version you're building might not be aesthetic yet, but it's honest, and that's what sticks. So let the AI show you what's possible, but never let it replace the process. The process is where your future earns its depth, and your presence is the only thing that makes the vision real. You weren't meant to just imagine your best life, you were meant to inhabit it. And that requires something deeper than clarity. It requires capacity, not the kind you build through downloading plans or stacking habits like building blocks, but the kind that's forged when you meet discomfort and stay present. This is what the AI can't give you. It can name the qualities of your future self, resilient, consistent, clear, but it can't help you become those things when you're face to face with the moments that challenge them. Only you can do that. Because your future self isn't created in visualization exercises. It's created in how you breathe when your heart races from self-doubt, in how you act when no one's cheering, in how you hold your posture when things don't go to plan. The future is built in silence, in the mornings where you choose stillness over scrolling, in the awkward workouts where nothing looks right, in the tiny proof points again and again that say, I'm becoming someone I can count on. That kind of trust. You don't get it from a script. You get it from showing up, repeatedly, imperfectly, honestly. So ask yourself, do you want to feel inspired, or do you want to feel anchored? Because inspiration fades. It gets swallowed by the next dopamine spike. But anchoring, that builds your nervous system to withstand discomfort and stay in motion. And nothing rewires your life like consistency in motion, especially when it's quiet, especially when no one sees it, especially when it doesn't look like success yet. That's the real transformation. The shift from hoping something will happen to you to realizing you are already making it happen in how you carry yourself each day. And here's the unexpected truth. The more you build from within, the less you need from the outside. You stop relying on perfect schedules. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop craving the AI scripted version of your life. Because the version you're building might be slower, less aesthetic, less shareable. But it's true, it's earned, and it fits. It fits your nervous system. It fits your real energy. It fits your evolving sense of self. And when life hits you, and it will, you'll have something no AI-generated plan could ever give you. Inner proof. Not proof of who you wish you were. Proof of who you already are, even in the messy, quiet middle of becoming. And that proof? It's more powerful than any vision ever written for you. Because you wrote it. With your feet, your breath, your effort, your refusal to quit. We live in a world that glorifies speed, fast goals, instant results, overnight success stories told in 30-second reels. It's no surprise we turn to AI, asking it to map our dream lives instantly. We crave control, clarity, completion. But you don't grow by skipping steps. You grow by staying with the steps, especially when they get hard. That's the real difference between an AI-created future and a self-built one. One offers you the illusion of completion, while the other invites you into the depth of commitment. And commitment isn't always pretty. Some days, you'll feel completely out of alignment. Some days, your body will resist what your mind wants. Some days, the old version of you will be louder than the new one you're trying to build. But those days, they are the proving grounds. Because when you show up, not as a perfect version of yourself, but as a present one, you create a future that is built on trust, not performance. And trust lasts longer than hype. You don't have to force growth, you just have to return to it. Again and again, in stillness, in movement, in the mess. That's what real transformation feels like. Not constant clarity, but consistent return. And if AI keeps offering you beautiful versions of your future, use it. Let it inspire. Let it point the way. But don't let it become your source of motivation. Let your movement be the source. Let your quiet repetitions be the fire. Let your inner rhythm be the compass. Because when you build from that place, present, slow, honest, something starts to shift that no prompt can replicate. You stop needing to become someone else. You begin reclaiming who you already are underneath the noise. And that self, the one who breathes deeper, who holds boundaries, who moves with care and grit, They don't need perfection, they need truth, they need rhythm, they need action under resistance. And that's what you're practicing, not for a day, not for a week, but as a lifestyle, one aligned breath, one choice that matches your future self. One moment of not quitting when the old pattern says, give up. That's the difference. Not between failure and success, but between a life performed for others and a life built by you for you from the inside out. Let your future be messy. Let it take time. Let it feel human. Because that version, the one you earn, not write, that's the one that lasts. There's a kind of power that only arrives when you stop waiting for life to change and start living like you already believe in the change. Not the loud kind. Not the type people celebrate on social media. The quiet kind. The kind you feel when you keep a promise to yourself no one else even knows about. That's what building your future looks like. Not in public, but in practice. And here's the thing. You'll probably never get applause for the work that matters most. No one sees you sitting in discomfort instead of running from it. No one claps when you take the slower, more honest path. No one celebrates when you catch an old pattern mid-loop and choose differently, but you feel it, and eventually you become it. Because every time you act from the version of yourself that hasn't fully arrived yet, you collapse the distance between who you are and who you're becoming. That's the real magic. Not fantasy, not scripting, but embodiment. You stop needing a perfect plan from AI because you trust your next step. You stop trying to predict the next 5 years because you're finally present in this one breath. You stop looking for signs that you're on the right path because your actions become the sign. This doesn't mean life gets easier. It means you get sturdier. The storms still come, but now your roots are deeper. The doubt still whispers, but your proof is louder. The future still feels far, but you walk toward it with grounded steps. You don't need to become someone else. You need to become more of who you were before fear shaped you. The version of you that still believed movement was possible, that still trusted small beginnings, that still honored becoming over performance. That version is still inside you. It's not buried under failure, it's buried under avoidance. And now you're unearthing it. Not with hype, not with another productivity hack, but with every quiet moment you choose self-trust over escape. That's what it means to build your life, instead of having it described to you. So next time you feel pulled to ask AI for another dream routine, pause. Ask yourself, what's one small step I already know I need to take? What's one action I've been avoiding that would bring me closer even slightly to alignment? Then take that step, not because it's impressive, but because it's yours. That's authorship, that's embodiment. That's how your future stops being a fantasy and starts becoming your present. Not perfect, not polished, but deeply, fully yours. This is where it all comes together. You've seen the difference now between a future that's written for you and a future that's written by you. One is clean, crafted in seconds, frictionless and full of poetic ambition. The other is slow, layered, human. It's not always beautiful, but it's real. And it changes you, not through vision, but through experience. Because no AI-generated life script can show you how it feels to rebuild self-trust after breaking it. No prompt can replicate the way your breath steadies after you choose the hard thing. No simulation can reflect the exact weight of your choices, the resistance you moved through, or the identity you reshaped in silence. That can only happen through one thing: lived effort. This journey of building instead of consuming doesn't reward perfection. It rewards return. You come back to the mat. You come back to the breath. You come back to the decision you made to believe in the version of yourself that no one else may fully understand yet. And slowly, over time, that version becomes less distant, less theoretical. You become someone who doesn't just visualize success, but carries it in your posture. Someone who doesn't need clarity to act because motion is now a baseline. Someone who doesn't get stuck in loops of preparation because embodiment has replaced anticipation. That's what this all leads to: quiet integration. And when you reach that place, the dream you once prompted into words no longer feels like a fantasy. It feels like a memory, one you're actively writing, breath by breath, in your own handwriting. So ask yourself now, for real, do you want to keep chasing the high of imagined futures, or start walking through the fire of real ones? Because you've already proven you can. You've shown up. You've felt the difference between illusion and movement. And you've begun building something that can't be written for you. It can only be lived. And it's okay if it's still messy. It's okay if it doesn't look like the version AI gave you. Because this version, your version, is stronger. It was earned. It was chosen. It was built. And when the world tempts you with another shortcut, another simulation, another fantasy, pause, breathe, and remind yourself, I don't need a script. I don't need a perfect plan. I don't need to be inspired. I just need to return to the version of me that moves anyway, that chooses progress over polish, that builds the life I say I want, one honest day at a time. Follow Think Fresh daily for more grounded growth like this, because your future isn't a file. It's a feeling, a frequency, a flame you keep lit, step by step, in motion. Let's keep building.